Oh, yes. All right. Turnip and Stone. We're on. Camera's going?
This is big.
Camera speeds.
There we go. Welcome back to the coffee shop, Turnip and Stone, episode 20-ish something.
Let's tell you.
Almost 30.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, Turnip and Stone by 7. You know what I'm talking about?
Early evening, Turnip and Stone.
Early evening, Tea and Stone.
Joining us this week, to my left, we got Stephanie Robertson.
Hey, everybody.
I like your radio voice.
I forgot.
Hey!
I waved to the camera and then forgot podcasts are relying on audio. So
It's okay. The Turnip and Stone fans really tune in for the visuals.
yeah. Good.
That's why I spend so long editing the intro and outro of everyone, is because we have an artistically inclined fan base.
Well, I'm glad I wore my nice gray hoodie. So.
And then over to my right, far right, returning guest. This is sign language into the pod. It's Mark McPartland.
Thank you. This is maybe my 5th. I'm in the 5-timers club, like when someone does SNL a lot. So this is.
You got to get your robe.
I might need to get my robe. This is sort of my robe. I'm going to break it off about 2/3 of the way in. When we have a lull in conversation, I'm going to reveal I have a full sequence thing. I've been wearing it for weeks waiting to get the call. I'm sort of the Artie Lang of this podcast, but like not. Like the opposite, sort of, in that I'm not funny and I don't have the vices.
You overcome the vices, and
I overcome the vices, but never quite meet the raw comedic genius.
I like to think that one day me, Mark, and Steve will go down in a small Cessna plane, like fucking
Led Zeppelin.
like Led Zeppelin, and then Mark will have to carry on the podcast.
Yeah,
It'll never quite be the same.
I'll be carrying. It's kind of like how the one guy that was left in the Ramones was like the drummer on the first album. So every time they did a documentary, they had to ask him, and he's like, they kicked me out like 4 months in, and I was like, I don't know what it was like recording that album. I basically just did a couple dates in like the upper, in Long Island, and then got left, and it was pretty cool. I'm kind of the Marky. His name was Marky Ramone, I think.
Really? I thought Marky was one of the regulars.
No, Marky was the regular. We're off to the races here.
Yeah, sorry. We're just watching Steve house those pretzels.
Shout out to Stephanie for bringing the Snyder's sticks.
Yeah, a classic.
Yeah, I was expecting them to be regular pretzels, and I was pleasantly surprised. Presently.
Took me directly back to 5th grade.
That was very what's the author? That was very like well written of you. And presently, I was surprised to find.
I found myself raptured.
The crunch was illustrious. The storm clouds.
So for the audio listeners so far, about 2 minutes in, they've had mostly waving and then the sounds of pretzels, and then me trying to remember the Ramones.
Turnip and Stone fans know that it's a build to...
It's all about the ambiance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does anybody want to go over their day? I had a bad
You had a bad day?
But here's the thing, is that I didn't actually, like, no one particular bad thing happened. I just had, like, a dystopic, sad... Like, it was a day where it really felt like... I was working from home, bubble guts, my tummy hurt all morning, and then I've just been eating like slices of ham. I'm trying to do this diet.
Bro, you got bubble gut because of your diet.
Well, here's the thing. I've tried about everything to fix these bubble guts, and they do not go away.
You're just peeling off ham slices?
It's a good deal at Aldi for a whole little smoked thing. Not to defend my diet, but I've tried...
True.
Everything, nothing else.
You and me do a similar. What's that tale of like you get like a spider to kill a fly and then a snake to kill a spider? I do that.
There was an open micer who swallowed a spider.
There was. That's truly. That's how kind of I'll feel bad, and then it's like, well, maybe I get eat nuts, and the nuts make me feel bad. It's like, well, maybe kombucha tea, and the next thing you know, I've got a gigantic gumbo of very expensive Walgreens health items.
Yes, that's exactly what's going on.
That just forms embalming fluid as I just lay there and die on my Amazon sofa.
Yeah, there's a mixture of like unsalted peanuts, expensive ashwagandha mushroom gummies, health tonics, ham, pork. But anyway, so I would just be like working and then this and then that. I'd get up and then, I had to like call a place to make a return. It was just one of the days. You look outside, it's sunny. I walked to get a coffee. The coffee's expensive. Everything just felt very...
It was a Tuesday.
Everything felt very Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It sounds like you nailed your Tuesday.
I really just had a normal Tuesday. Yeah. The problem is I can't have many more normal Tuesdays. I'm going nuts.
Yeah, I'm literally like... I have such a good, like, I'm giving myself little treats for nothing.
Yes.
Which is like, I'm going to go see a movie tonight. It's like, what did I literally sat there and just clicked one thing on a spreadsheet. And I was like, I can't wait for the big reward.
That's a white man survival mode. That's what that is.
Just got to get through the day.
I do it too. Yeah.
Oh,
I do.
absolutely.
I send one email and I'm like, I gotta go get that coffee.
I'm
I
like,
deserve it.
Whew.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna
it
go
was
take
great.
a trip to Trader Joe's.
Oh, I took a. Oh, go ahead.
They messaged me. The lady that I don't normally message, she messaged me with like she had looked at something I'd done and wrote this big like, why was it done like this? Why wasn't it done like this? I don't know about your department. And it was like literally like War and Peace. She was using things I'd never heard. She was like, why are the PSLs? I feel like there'd be a good way to streamline the UPCs. And I wrote back like, you are so right about that. I mean, literally, it was like reading kanji. Like, I didn't understand a word of it. And
Baby, you're so beautiful when you're corporately redundant.
Lizzie, you rock. And I'm going to break out the Slack rocket emoji to say, you're the best. Do that. And then I'm going to go to Pedestrian Coffee and get a hitchhiker scone for all of my hard work. I was a big businessman today.
I took a bath to try and ease my sweet tummy. And I got to the bath, and my girlfriend usually has Epsom salts scented.
Yeah.
No Epsom salts. I just threw some kitchen salt in there. I seasoned
Wait,
myself.
really?
Yeah, just iodized salt.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. I mean, the salt water's supposed to be good for you, but I didn't have the stuff that smelled like eucalyptus.
You just threw
that's
some
like
fucking
what a cartoon wolf would do. Like,
Yes, yeah. I was like Bugs Bunny
Starting
getting
a
in a
stew,
stew.
yeah.
I cut up a carrot. I was like, ooh. You're going to be real relaxed. And then I had to get out of my salt bath to do more work before I came here because the phone wasn't working, whatever. So I was just like, just wet and soapy. And
You've been brining all day, dude.
yeah.
You've been in a brine.
And I left the house only to get coffee. So I've almost exactly the same life as a boned and skinned anchovy in a tin. Just in a salt brine, providing nutrition to a larger corporate entity.
Oh, man.
It was one of those days.
As I was coming over here, I was like, good material for the cast.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think. The second I'm in podcast mode, I'm fucking scanning like the T1000. There was a girl that was on a divvy bike that was at that intersection in, by the movie, what's the neighborhood I was just in? I'm freezing on the cast. There's one detailed, and I'm already stunting at the story. It's right. It's in Wrigleyville.
Oh, God. You prefaced with this would be good for the cast.
I know. I prefaced it would be good, and I was like, so let me set the table. It was fucking somewhere in Chicago.
I love a good directions conversation.
Yeah. I love talking streets.
You were real critical early in the cast of what was going on.
Yeah.
Now the folks are listening to Mark trying to remember what road he was on.
Have a pretzel.
I really am going to need some. I'm not me when I'm hungry. No, but this story is now going to flop because it was a person was on a divvy bike and everything was red that I could see. All the lights were red. She was in the middle of somehow she had caught every red light and she was dead in the middle. And she was riding on her divvy bike and a car came up through as a car is wont to do because I think their side turned green. She was like in the middle of the manhole cover on whatever street this was, and the car
She just spawned into a Mario level.
It's like she got clawed over there. It was terrible, and then she made this fucking noise. She looked like. Have you ever seen the show The Boys? Do you know the girl that's like the female superhero in that?
From clips, yeah.
Pull it up on this if you need this. But she looked like that. She made this this shrieking, like when they catch a warthog in a trap. It was this. I've never heard a human make this guttural of a shriek. It wasn't like, hey man, it was this primal. Like when I watch documentaries about World War II and they describe the gurgle of this sound that you don't get out of your ears. This lady on this divvy bike who had a helmet for a divvy bike. She brought a helmet where it wasn't her own bike. But I'm gonna stop being critical. I'm a catty bitch. And then she made this shriek. She wobbled 17 directions and she put her hand on the car and then she just went, what? She tried to be very casual, she didn't make the sound. She made this terrible, embarrassing sound that was people were opening up their windows to look out, and then she was like, fucking people, and what's going on? You can't even get in the middle of a 6-lane intersection with all red. And I said, that's good for the cast. I said, I'm not going to mess up.
Lady, let me get your name. I'm about to make you a star.
You're about to go, this is embarrassing, but you know what? This is also a clip.
I saw a couple of crackheads bring 2 divvy bikes down onto the train, which was a
really?
first. Yeah, public transit on public transit, which
Did
I
they
thought
ride
was
him on the
amazing.
train?
I don't know. I think they just like wheel them on.
Yeah. Did you go do business elsewhere?
Wait, so you were on a train, you saw two people just wheel a divvy bike into the train?
I was waiting for the platform, like the underground red line.
I call that the
platforms.
urban aircraft carrier.
And they just came crashing out of an elevator with 2 divvy bikes.
Interesting. Were
Yeah.
they cracked out? Could you tell that they were?
Yeah, they were cracked. Had way too many bags.
Yeah. Steve said something very astute the other day that I thought was yesterday about how you can tell someone's insane if they're overdressed for the weather.
Yeah, if they have the improper amount of clothing on for the weather.
Like when it's 65 out, you still see somebody with the military surplus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
got they're
Hat,
parka.
2 coats, 3 sweatshirts.
Oh, I was walking behind a couple. There was a woman and a man, and then they were like arguing. They were holding a bunch of stuff too, and they were overdressed and everything. And then she stops him dead in the middle of the sidewalk. I stop behind them, and she goes, "How could you say that? What, you want to just kill this woman on the streets?" What? And I veered around them and got safely into the Target. I was like, I got to get out of that because there was.
Was there another woman around?
I think it was either me or someone they had passed recently, but she stopped him to confront his absurd.
You're telling me you'd stab a woman for her glasses and gray sweatshirt? But it's warm out. We don't need any more layers.
Oh, yeah, you're wearing 3 coats already.
You slid straight into a Target?
Yeah,
I just quickly passed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's white lady base. Safe.
He just puts the knife down. He's like, fuck. Gets a Starbucks and waits.
You come out with a $35 cinnamon scented candle. Back. Away with you.
Yeah, it was scary. So, but I did feel
wild.
safe. I was like, well, thank God there's a Target right here.
That's
Because they stopped to argue for a little bit. So I was like, I'm going to wait it out.
funny that he had a counterpoint.
Yeah.
She's like, you'd kill her? He's like, yes, I would.
Yeah.
And if you'll hear me out, woman.
It also seems like if you're at the point of like murdering random women on the street, you're not necessarily like, let's see how the table feels about this. I don't know why she would go and just ask another
He should have
person.
just been doing it.
He should have just been. I would have just been. I say you stab first, ask questions later.
Yeah. You're lucky my bitch was in a good mood.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would never make it to that Target.
I had a bad dream this morning that
Ooh,
I was late to the first day of school.
Wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's deep in there.
I keep having this terrible reoccurring theme of missing a class that I needed to take to complete my degree.
You and me might have the
I have
exact
that
same
too.
anxiety dream. I have that about twice a month. This terrible dream that like I'm forgetting. It's like it's too late. I haven't attended the class enough.
Yeah.
I've forgotten about it. This is I'm like this is the class.
I have the same thing.
I'll even have it incorporated nightmare sometimes where it's like I've already going to graduate or I have, and this is such a big. I'll have regular dreams where I'm just like I'm driving on the Magical Mystery Tour bus,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have been taking that
I
class.
have to go to class. Yeah.
I gotta go to
I was
class.
supposed to go to class.
and I
or
can't just walk in now. And
the campus is always too big for me to make it for some reason.
Yeah, I'll
and then I
never
get
be able to.
distracted and I go to another class.
Yeah.
And then I realize I have to. It's not that class I still have yet to attend. I have to make up for it. I have to let the teachers know. It's always a math class.
It's all yeah.
It's always a math class. It's the one class I just cannot get myself to go to,
That's
but I know I need it
all
to
I got
pass.
out of school was that buried in my cerebral cortex, that weird anxiety, which I should have. I should wake up to the reality of like, oh fuck, I'm an open micer that does data entry job, and AI is coming. Like that should be my waking nightmare. Should be.
Yeah.
That's funny, like I keep having this nightmare that's technically a relief for my daily life.
Yeah, it is true. You wake up and go, everything's fine.
Thank
I
God
don't
I
need
talked to the
education.
guidance counselor. I'm good.
Yeah.
One of my only recurring nightmares is being chased by a horde
That's
of
kinda cool.
zombies.
Never happens.
Does it
Like
happen?
a-
How does that go about?
I mean, it depends, but it's usually like a abandoned building. Things are on fire. I'm running through corridors. They're getting closer and closer and closer.
And then
I don't know where that
in
came
my
from.
dream, it would be one of
Call of
those
Duty.
corridors. I'd be like, oh fuck, this is that wing of the school I'm supposed to be going to. Oh fuck, I'm not going. to
Yeah,
this
I
math
have the
class.
same thing. I'll show up to the class and I'll be like, Oh, I haven't been here all fucking
Yeah.
semester.
Yeah.
I'm fucked. We got 2 weeks left of school.
yeah.
And I totally forgot I had this class.
Yeah, the teacher doesn't know who I am.
Yeah.
I think it's because I remember being stressed out about finishing and having to be like check all the fucking
Yep.
boxes of like, did I get all these credit hours?
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really goes to show where all of our different priorities were over the last. It's 3 votes for I'm about to miss a class and 1 vote for I have to stockpile
A zombie.
and prepare for the zombie apocalypse.
I have a
We're talking
fun
about a
one.
test we've taken in the past. You're talking about a test you think is going to come up
Yeah.
in the future.
None of us are prepared.
None of us are
I had a
prepared.
dream last night that my alarm clock could take Polaroid photos.
That's kind of all.
I
Was it
swear
a
to
bad
God,
dream,
and it's,
or
I
was it
can't-
just like a
Good.
nifty fun fact
Yeah,
of the
like-
dream?
I grabbed it and I go, I noticed on the back, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I hit a button, it goes, and it spit out a Polaroid of a picture of me.
Wait, was it
And I was
like
like,
it was
Jesus.
spying on you?
No, I was just like, I didn't fucking,
But
I
I
had
think
no idea.
if you go on Timo, I
did
think
again
you
and
can
took
find
another
that.
one.
I think they make those.
Yeah.
Your dream can become a reality.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Timo tempted me,
I
and then
shouldn't
I
even
had
be
to.
speaking
I
this out
deleted it.
loud if it's not,
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. Timu?
Timu's the thing that they ship all this. You can get like, you can get a alarm clock Polaroid thing for like $97 because they pay for the shipping. I just
Yeah.
watched a video about this today when I was supposed to be working. It was called The Fall of
After
Timu.
your coffee break or whatever.
After the coffee break, I came back, I clicked one more thing, and I was like, let's get into it. If I'm watching business YouTube, it's technically a business activity.
Yeah.
They pay direct shipping from the Chinese factories, and so they pass the savings
Straight
on
from
to
the
you.
factory to you.
Yeah, exactly.
None of that pesky testing for radiation.
I just
Put
realized
it right on the ship.
Like, why does this bar of soap have an antenna coming out of it?
These kind of look like children's teeth. Ah.
Mitchell called and then texted if he could come.
We're out of
We're out of
plugs.
mics.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I think he just.
He can come watch.
Tell him that's kind. No, he'll start talking and won't come through on the. We'll start having. I know myself. I'll start like getting a laugh, and then I'll ask him for something, and then. And then when I edit, I'm gonna have to go through and raise up the phone audio so you can hear them. I'll do that twice and then get angry and delete the episode.
Okay.
Our 56 subscribers will riot in the streets.
I'm letting him know. We'll see him after.
Yeah, tell him next time. What's that?
Timu.
Timo.
I got very excited because they said here's some special deals for your first time if you do Timo. If you download it, you get some. But you had to buy 10, and then all had to be 10 things that they suggested from the first page. And the first page has gone through my whole algorithm, and really stereotyped me as a guy with zombie nightmares because it was all $8 camping knives, a lot of tactical backpacks with
Crossbows.
secret compartments.
Bear
And after
mace.
selecting about 5 knives, 1 camping stove, 2 backpacks, and a fucking, I don't know, balaclava. It was like $105, and I was like, I can't do this, and I got angry and deleted Temu. But they knew me.
That's how they get you.
Nick Cartwright was the one who got me on Temu.
Yeah, Nick told me about Timo.
Because Nick, have you seen Nick wearing his Temu gear around?
No,
Yeah,
what
Nick got
gear?
like-
styled by Timo.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming straight from an
It's an
outskirts of Wuhan
asbestos hoodie.
factory.
Really?
It reflects the light like an oil slick.
Yeah. And I think he ordered them in mass, and I'm pretty sure that he can't go through airport scanners with it and stuff.
No.
It's
Yeah.
made out of a very odd
He
material.
could curl up in it and survive a nuclear explosion.
The thing's just shiny as fuck.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
made out of
You ever
whatever.
see when they're in those detention camps and they give people the FEMA blankets? It's made of that similar manufacturer is the one that's making the
That's
Temu
amazing.
products.
Yeah, isn't it I've heard it's not a trusted site.
No.
Right.
No,
It's
they get you
very
info.
bad. And I gave them my actual the password I used for everything.
Yeah.
So that's gone right into the Chinese mainframe database, which they've already had,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah,
they've already
you've
been
just
spying.
confirmed it on
I've
their
just
end.
confirmed.
It's gonna be
it.
very funny
Damn.
when they invade and we're all trying to hide out in a bunker. And then Mark comes in wearing a very shiny hoodie with a Polaroid alarm clock. He goes, "I'm so sorry, guys. They have everything on me."
Mind if I put down my coat? It's just a big backpack that has an antenna on it. Beep, 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 beep. You guys are going to be staying here for the next 30, 35 minutes, right? So sorry.
Just another
Just
victim.
defect, Eric. They're doing all the casts over in China now.
They've got a good stand-up scene in Shanghai.
Oh man.
Operation Stupid American. They just build an Amazon clone.
Ship it over.
Do you hear about that? I mean, this was a while ago. This is actually Mark covers old news.
Yeah.
But that guy that
It's a new segment.
Yeah.
Graphic slams down.
Is that guy in that guy in South Korea, that American soldier that tried to defect to North Korea, and they sent him back
Yep.
because he was too annoying.
Yeah. Very funny.
Which rules.
That's true. The only people who would enthusiastically defect to North Korea are the people who
They
think America's bad, but it's because they're so annoying that America has rejected them.
Yeah, America hates him, and they think like maybe there's one place I fit in, and it's the most uniform, rigid society of rules. It's like you couldn't take it in America where you can, drive literally whatever the fuck you want and do whatever you want. And then they sent him. He punched his officer in the face, his commanding officer, and then he was about to get sent back to America to get court-martialed. I don't even know how this happened. Apparently, there's like a back to America line at the airport or something, and then there's like a to North Korea line. There's like you're going into a movie theater. You can go like theater 1 over here, and then you can go to North Korean theater. And apparently, like
he snuck into a rated R country.
He snuck into a rated. He bolted into a movie he did not have tickets for, and then 2 weeks later, they used him for propaganda, and then they said,
Wasn't he a black guy?
He was a black guy.
Nobody on the North Korean flight double checked the passport. It's 4 or 5. I have to imagine it's a sparsely populated flight. It's 5 Asian guys, and then it's a black guy in a U.S. Marines uniform.
They're just like, you're from
clear for takeoff.
What part of Pyongyang are you from again? Yeah, I'm from the river, from around the river of Pyongyang.
South side.
From the motherfucking south side.
I'll stay out east. So he was an American soldier that defected?
He was about to get sent back to America to get court-martialed for punching a guy in the face, and he said, "Catch me if you can." And then he basically, in terms of defecting, it's like he jumped into a giant bungee net, and he went boing and shot him right. And now, if he wasn't in trouble before, he's very much in trouble now.
It is funny to be like, he's just like a loose cannon who punched the officer in the face. And then he's like, well, I've already attacked the American military. Where will they accept me? And he runs over to North Korea.
He thought he could flip and turn on the he thought, I'll go to the ops.
Yeah.
I'll be one of those. I'll be a turncoat. And then
he's probably also like a low-ranking military guy. They're like, do you have any intelligence to give us? He's like, sometimes on Tuesdays.
It's going to be just like...
They say that they're going to give us... Yeah, they say that they're going to give us a Filet-O-Fish and we get something else. We get turkey sandwiches.
They say it's banana pudding. It's vanilla pudding. And they're like, all right, so we're going to put you on a trebuchet and launch you back over into South Korea.
And a big Acme rocket.
Because that happens with like people, because people think that Russia has like a non-extradition treaty with the United States, which they don't. I mean, but like Russia will still, if you get caught with 1 trillion terabytes of child porn, they're not just going to keep you in Russia. Russia doesn't have a, like, once you're here, your family kind of policy. They still, like, it has to be, like, Snowden has to, like, get approval to stay. So people will go and they'll be like, the wife catches the files and then they're already on the first plane to Moscow. And they'll be like, catch me if you can. And they get there and they're like, we also don't want a mass child molesting guy roaming our streets just to piss off the Americans. So they send them back.
Yeah.
And,
dude,
probably to be... U.S. Olympic trainers or whatever we do at pedophiles. Cutting commentary. Go.
Topical. That ends old news.
Old news. We're ending on an older story.
The graphic comes down. You heard of this Larry Nassar guy? This is wild news.
What is?
I heard. Well, we're talking geopolitics. Before we get into the life advice, a little light geopolitics. Do you guys hear about the Russian helicopter pilot who defected to Ukraine?
Oh.
So he defected. He radioed Ukraine during the war, and he's like, I want out of Russia. They instructed him. He flew the helicopter out under their orders, landed, divulged the information, whatever, and fled to Ukraine, where they set him up with, whatever sort of, you're on the run.
3 hots and a cot.
Dude, killed in Spain, shot to death in a garage in a rural village in Spain.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. I mean, that's
whatever
wild.
Russian Spetsnaz guys had to like hunt him down. KGB. His girlfriend found him shot to death in the garage in like a 20-person village on the coast of Spain, where they set him up with his.
That's wild that they still have it like that.
So that's James Bond level.
Yeah. And he probably thought he was good.
Nonsense.
And I'm picturing, even as sunny as it must have been in Spain, I am picturing they came up in full trench coat, looking like the villains from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Just came up and ping, ping, hit him with a 1-2.
When you're on the run from Russia, you got to be always wary of a very tall, thin woman and a short, stout man in full trench coats.
People reading a folded up map very wrong.
Anybody with a newspaper with eye holes cut out, you got to be looking twice.
I'm picturing like out of a manhole cover twice I've said, but just like one of those, like a submarine. If you're playing bingo at home. I like what they did. First of all, sometimes I like when Russian will kill people and they'll have long-term goofy plans where like, you know, where they tried to kill that guy the first time and they did kill him, where they put shit in his coffee, like his tea every day.
Yeah.
Or like he went to the same restaurant every day and they just put a little like, irradiated kind of like nuclear substance in his tea. So he died of like nuclear poisoning. And which is a goofy kind of, because it's easy. I mean, sometimes you got to just shoot him in the parking lot in Spain, but sometimes you can take your time with it.
Do you think there's a moment where there's like a guy, he's like 6 layers undercover in the Russian government, and now he has to work at a coffee shop
at a British tea
to put little bits of nuclear thing. And do you think that he goes home at any point and is like, what the fuck is going on? I had to learn English, flawless accent, get hired by a Starbucks in London.
Do you think he's like getting like he's there and he's got his like apron on and he's getting there in the morning and he's making his like scones and stuff? And do you think he gets into the politics of like, Jessica, they need to give you better schedule. You are a top worker here.
This is bullshit. You give me every fucking evening shift.
Every evening. I told you
3 times I asked morning shift. You give me evening.
He's got a radiating green briefcase handcuffed to his wrist. I never get weekend off. Always Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday.
I told you Imagine Dragons is in town. I have to go see.
I'm waking up. I need to.
I'm radioactive.
This is.
And that's the pod, everyone.
That's fair. Now, here's the thing, and this is something that I always think is like, do you think can just be enough of a human? Like, he's a deep undercover trained killer who's like good giving up several years of his life to slowly poison somebody who's never done anything to it. Yeah. But do you think he still like is just enough of a human that he likes learning the latte art?
Yeah.
Like he's happy he learns how to do a cat.
Does he feel a sense of like pride that you would feel anyway when like he gets it? Like there's one moment briefly in the moment of his head he must be like, I'm making it pretty good. Like when he gets an art right, he like
starts his own Instagram page. Just pictures of it.
That's how they bust him.
Like he's getting his latte, it's just got like the nuclear radiated triangle on it. Bit of inside I've been working on.
After a 5-year manhunt, they finally found the owner of Art of Foam Instagram at Art is Foam. Foam Art is art.
If you see here in the cappuccino with a cat froth on the top, there's actually an eyedropper of cyanide off lane.
Off in the left, it's sepia tone, but it's definitely
our photo intelligence department picked up.
That's crazy.
They got that other guy. Well, first of all, the people that they killed, because the thing they had, it was such a nuclear radioactive substance that you could take like a Geiger. They only made it in one mine in the Soviet Union. You could only find it in one mine. It was one mine that like, so the Soviet Union just had it left over in a stockpile.
Tracetonium. It's the most easily traceable substance. It's like the Black Panther material. It's just got some name. You can always unobtainium.
Stalin's, and then like so the second they discover the material, which first of all, it's almost better to shoot them in a parking lot when you get it and it's linintonium or something.
Yeah.
But it's so radioactive that they could take a Geiger counter and go from where it was and go beep, 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 and they followed it back to Heathrow Airport, back to the plane. They were able to get that plane.
They did a full where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
They had like a bloodhound basically, like, and they were able to like a bunch of British guys. I'm assuming big old hats. Like
it was a Sherlock Holmes guy with a magnifying glass walking.
Like I'm assuming a building was in their way, and they went and walked up the building and walked down like this.
They got on the plane. The plane is beeping all the way back over the ocean.
They're beep, beep, beep. They're on the wings of the plane. They're outside again. They're wearing trench coats.
Yeah,
but they found.
They look down and see a glowing green whale in the ocean. They're like, "We're on the right track."
And they went and they interviewed because they're trying to do damage control, so they found the 2 guys.
All the way back to the guy's house.
Yeah, they
found the guy.
They did eventually discover the guy. I'm not sure if they did it fully where they went geek, and they just found one guy just like eating soup that was glowing or whatever. But they found the guys and they interviewed them on RTD on Russian television. It's a great interview. I recommend leaving this bullshit and finding it. But they found like the two guys that were in, because he did it in like Sheffield. I mean, he did it in like a country. You wouldn't go there unless you had literally your aunt lived in that part of England.
Yeah.
So they were asking like, why were these two Russian guys there? And
Yeah.
they interviewed the two guys, and they're the two like goonish looking Russian guys, like literally like when Spider-Man fights a Russian in a dock looking guys. They looked, I mean, and they were like, well, can you explain why you were in Sheffield at that time? And like, Sheffield has the tallest spire in all of England, most historic spire. We were there to visit spire. And it's like, you went onto Wikipedia, you looked up Sheffield, and you look up things to do. Better just to not have them. Better not to get the goons on television.
Yeah, don't let them.
Don't let them just be like, just let them put out a written statement. Don't let them be there and try to be like.
The problem is they got to Russia and they're like, these are our two most eloquent spokesmen.
These guys already know English. They're going to nail it on camera.
Oh,
But that's
Lord.
Mark Old News Corner. Stephanie, what's going on with you?
Stephanie, you know of anyone that's been assassinated?
anyone that's been
No.
Some
assassinated?
sort of governmental coup?
No, I got nothing on that. I do have some crazy hometown drama that
Ooh.
is has written in.
They wrote in the Turnip and Stone?
Yeah.
This is good.
Nice.
Stephanie's moving the needle on people writing in the Turnip and
Yeah,
Stone.
it's some good stuff. Are we ready? Do we want to get into it?
I
Yeah,
think so.
you guys ready to dive
Okay.
into questions?
All right. Hold on. Let me pull it up here.
Now that we've taken care of the news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now that we've covered news from 2016.
Yeah, more local.
Yeah.
Recent news.
This is the B story. Like how they're.
In other news, the Dunkin' Donuts is going to be opening up pretty soon, I think, on Elston. It looks like it could have a drive-through. We don't know yet.
I'm standing outside of the ribbon cutting ceremony for the brand new playground over here on Clybourne.
One lady is putting a pause to animal hunger.
All right, mine beats all of those actually. Well, all right, ready? This
Yeah.
one, all right. This is my hometown. This is a question from a person from my hometown. What do you do if a girl you fucked 4 months ago posts a photo of an ultrasound and a date that includes you as a possible dad, and you find out by looking on Facebook?
Punch my girlfriend in the nose.
That's when you,
They said it's his girlfriend.
No.
Let me tell you something. You gotta
It's
go to
just a
hospitals.
girl that you've had sex with.
That's
And
wild.
She
That's-
posted it like anonymously. Like there's no. I feel like he would know if that was his problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have access to a nuclear radiation
I was
in
gonna
the Starbucks that she goes to?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it planned backfire. Your baby was born with 6 arms and 9 eyes.
Invite her to a tackle football game at the park. What?
hey, I think
he got tagged in it?
He said
No.
that no.
invite her to the. Can we talk about this on the Gravitron?
He's nervous because he's in that date
Yeah.
range of the possibility of
Yeah.
Very possible.
conception.
I say, do the angry face react
Yeah.
and see if she responds?
Yeah,
I would be literally looking at the ultrasound to be like, it looks blonde. or
Yeah,
something. Like, it doesn't
nothing
look.
like me.
It doesn't have my whole thing. Now, what would you suggest in this scenario?
I would just ask probably, but also if she
No.
wasn't reaching out, I would assume I'm safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, she
Take the win of possible kid, not your
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
if she's
yeah.
already like, I'm not going to reach out, that's when you fade into the background. That's when there's
It never
actually
happened.
Take a job on an oil
Key
rig.
West has a lot more. Did
I
I
think
just?
you found yourself somewhere on the intersection of Unfriendsville and Mute Street.
You're gonna learn plenty about that kid whenever you get looked up in internet connection in Alberta.
Yeah.
When you are gone, you're gonna.
I think there's a good chance that she's probably got a new guy that it doesn't matter if it's your kid.
Yeah, it's gonna be his problem.
It's his kid.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
new guy's
Mm-hmm.
problem.
So just keep an eye out. Every now and then go to the high school reunion and just peep the picture and be like, fuck, that's a blonde kid. That's a blonde motherfucking kid.
I would honestly sweat it out for life and just have in the back of my head there's a 4% chance that I've got a kid.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of how I walk around with normally, if you can believe it. I'm composed. There's always a possibility.
That's
Now,
how I
I-
walk around, except for it's 4% chance I might be pregnant. Yeah.
That's a lot more scary. You can't even
Yeah.
go. If you go to Alberta, the kid
I
goes
can't,
with you.
yeah, it's
Wow,
coming.
that's a losing scenario.
I don't want to be Icarus here, but dare I say smash again while she can't get second pregnant?
Oh my god.
Oh. Now you're in risk-free zone.
Tagging would be wild, though. Can you imagine your ultrasound you didn't tell them, and you're
Just
like,
getting
I'm gonna
tagged.
I'm
Just
gonna
tag a
go
handful of
hard
dudes.
launch
We are
this kid.
so excited.
Do you want a kid? Maybe comment the ring emoji.
Yeah, put a Maury gif on there.
Yeah.
Actually, if you could comment with a gif of Maury, you are not the father, and a skinny black guy running circles around the room, that would be very funny.
Oh, he sent me ultrasound photos.
Whoa.
Does he have the photos?
Will you send them to us so we can put them on the pod?
I will.
Let's
I'll
see.
send them to you. It has his face in it. I don't know if he wants his face in it, but this is hilarious. He sent me one separate and then one of his side profile. He matched
Just to
it
see
up.
if it's fuck. It's pretty similar.
That's
That's
hilarious.
funny.
That's your kid.
Oh,
That's so
shit,
funny.
You're screwed, dude.
That's so funny.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a thick chin dude.
Yeah.
Where'd he meet the girl? Drawing paintings of elk in a cave.
Dude. He what is that on top of his head? I don't know. He also has another question.
Double question.
Double question.
Yeah.
This guy's leading life fast and loose. He's playing it by
So
What's the immigration
Seat of his
policy, policy like in Chile?
the... He tries to extradite to North Korea.
So he has an ex-girlfriend separate from this other girl who keeps showing up to his hometown bar, like his local bar, his spots.
And this is pretty big. You can't. It's not like Chicago.
No, it's a
a
big
water
deal.
hole.
There's only a few, and he's known at them, and so people are seeing her come into his bar.
I want to move to wherever the fuck this is.
With new men.
Ooh.
So not only does she look the way she looks, but he looks like he just dated the biggest thought. You know what I mean? Like the town. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you suggest he does in this situation? Because he's trying not to even.
tough.
It's like she's not there when
Turnip
she's
and
there.
Stone does not endorse a murder suicide.
Yes. Not officially.
Has he tried drinking during the day? Maybe in the morning.
He just
Less
changes
people,
his
more
whole
loyal
routine.
customers.
Yeah. He gets the
Or-
bar all to himself. You can really spread out.
You can drink at home. If I can step back into an old pair of shoes I haven't worn in a little while, there's ways to get around all this. And also, it helps you deal with the public humiliation.
Yeah.
Because you're completely checked out of yourself drinking Four Loko Black. Just
Mark's
saying.
stepping back into a pair of shoes where the left shoe is on the right foot.
These pair of shoes can't walk in a straight line when they're asked to. I'll tell you that much. But what he can't ever mention it.
He can't. He
Are
can't.
people-
He's just trying not to talk to her. You
Yeah.
know. So.
Well, I mean, like, are people, and maybe it's just because my hometown doesn't have this level of trash, but but
It's got two,
is
heavy
it like
hitters like
people walk like she walks in with a guy and everyone looks at him like
Yeah.
you fucked
Yeah.
that chick?
Literally, people come up to him and say, like, "Dude, you see her? She's here again with someone else. You see
Yeah.
that? Yeah."
Well, I mean, like,
That's classic. But that's tension
Yeah,
the whole
Town
night.
drama, though.
but couldn't
It
he
is.
play it
Ooh,
off
it's so
like
good.
They
I
love
guess
it.
that I guess she can't get over me, dude?
right. Yeah.
I would
like,
say play it off like
right. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's
here
the
because
whole-
she's trying to, you know, bring
Yeah.
people around.
If you don't care, then just like let
he
her.
doesn't, but
Yeah.
but that is an issue.
If he doesn't care, then I would say slowly poison the whole town against her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just be like, I don't know what this crazy, you know what I mean? Like,
She's also from another town, so
Whoa.
she doesn't have to be going
Oh,
to
she-
like a
yeah,
20, 30-minute bar away.
this is
from
the
her
Russian
hometown.
poisoning of
Yeah.
a man's heart. She's slowly bringing bits of other dick in day by day
Yeah.
to try and break him.
Yes, it is.
Holy hell.
Somebody call the sheriff.
Yeah.
Get the sheriff in.
Have you considered lying to a SWAT team and saying that she has 100 pounds of cocaine in her house?
Get her swatted would be pretty good. What you can also do is you can give her new perfume and be like, hey, but secretly it smells like bacon. And then when she gets outside, there's a bunch of dogs. Think you're doing a good favor, but you've just set her up for a hilarious prank. You just set her up.
I like the Looney Tunes level of
Yeah.
problem solving. put up a open season painting with her picture on it. Or whatever. Wait for Elmer Fudd to come through.
Paint
Of
a
course,
whole black hole.
she
in the
will have
ground
to-
in the bar.
You jump into it, and then she smashes against it.
On a serious note, if he does that, he will have to understand that this means war. Woo! Oh, that's fun. What would you suggest doing, by the way?
I've told him. I said, find a new bar,
Yeah, you
dude.
might gotta
It's
find a
not
new
like. Also, stop going to
great.
the bar.
I would-
I know.
As
I
somebody
know.
who's got a favorite bar when he goes home.
I know.
I would
It's his
fold-
home
I would leave
bar.
the bar
People,
so
everyone
quickly.
knows him there.
I
It
had
is
a buddy
his
say
place.
that we're kind of over that bar because when I go back, I'm like, I want to go to this bar. It's the bar I always go to, and my friends are like, we're over that. That was like where we went in college.
Yeah.
It's far from where we all live now, and I'm like, we have to go to Brewster's Pub, Cary, North Carolina.
Yeah, this bar
But
is a
Carrie's
good
pubs
bar.
are always
for
like
where
gastro
he's
pubs
at.
called like Max Pubs. Sometimes those are the places that I would always go to.
Build your own mac and cheeses.
Yeah, and it costs $27. And it's very good, and I go with my mom sometimes.
What if I suggest to this guy, find Christ and stop fucking all the girls?
Yeah,
in your
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
settle down, buddy,
If
and
you
then
got a
you'll have a
pregnancy
girlfriend you
scare
can bring. Yeah,
and
yeah.
the crazy bitch coming to your place. Yeah, it's time that you, probably join the clergy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrap it
Because
up.
they can't find you in there. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, that's the
Not going
zombies. That's the
anywhere new.
target. That's the
Yeah.
that's where they really can't get you.
Yeah.
I would also. I mean, I would completely. If this is Mark's advice. Now the problem is that my advice has gotten me this far.
Yeah.
My advice has gotten me fourth miking, and looking forward to a week to go see American Pie, and that's where I am. It would be go find a different bar and avoid because it's the safe spot.
Mm-hmm.
You're there. They've got college
and then
basketball
she'll
on.
start. She's still showing up to that old bar, being like, "Where the fuck is
is
he?"
he?
And
Yeah.
now you're like back to the man of mystery you used to be before she got to know you.
Exactly. And then it's like,
Yeah.
what's this second alternative life he has that's without me? She's jealous.
Is he at a new bar with a new girl?
Is
Is he at her bar?
Mm-hmm. Then you make her go slightly crazy. And then, but of course, all the while you're standing outside the door with a big red glove and a little spring thing. And the second she steps out, you bing, and you hit her.
Meanwhile, there's a pile of Plan B underneath a cardboard box propped up by a stick. I say you hit her with a message that says, "I'm sorry, baby, I got a kid on the way. We can't keep playing these games. I'm about to be a father. It's time we settle down."
Yeah, bring the baby to the bar.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Have a little fake baby like American Sniper and just have it just bounce it around a little bajorn or something. Be like,
What if you got all your friends at your local bar that she keeps showing up to you and all of them show up in all black one day, like you're at a wake? And then she comes in like, "Oh, I'm here with this guy. Do you think that we're gonna?" And then she looks over and there's like somber organ music playing, and you guys are all sitting there drinking straight. And she goes, "Oh, this is serious."
Staged wake.
that?
Yeah.
Staged
It's
wake.
the classic stage
Stage
wake
wake.
plant.
It's
Stephanie, I'm sorry to chat. I'm sure this has happened to you at least twice in your life where you've walked in and there's been a stage. This is a common thing
Yeah.
guys do to get out of.
people kind of ruin it. It's like how TikTok ruins like cool like places in the city. It's people are ruining
It's basically
stage.
the glizzy of ways to get out of date.
It's the rat hole of it. It's people. I mean, honestly, we're joking around. Stage wake. Would you? Because then she's coming in like, "Oh, I'm just why it's a bar. It's a public space." And she's like, "This is embarrassing. I'm so out of it. They're so sorry. I'm so not part of the crew. They didn't even tell me about the
Yeah.
wake that was happening."
She's
Yeah.
getting the ick because you're crying.
You're
Like,
crying.
It's the perfect.
You got to
Or
get a
no,
big
you're-
picture of somebody
Or-
and put it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In
But
loving
here's
memory.
what you are. You're other people are crying. You're big, mature. You're guy that when the shit hits the fan, kind of like pulls himself out of me. He's like, "Hey, sorry, we're kind of in a wake here. I know we've been a little bit weird." And then another guy's crying like, "Hey, Chris, just like pull it together, man."
Yeah.
Like you're a guy that
hey,
doesn't
sorry,
cry.
I'm
at
talking
wake.
to. We used to date. This is serious.
We used to date. So just like, hey, it's good. Just I want to let you know that like death has made me realize that like I'm above your horror-y.
Yeah.
And then just settle things.
Unfortunately, my godfather is more dead than you are a slut. And you're going to need to vacate my local watering hole.
It's just the person I went to school with. She died. She died too much dicks. It can happen. It can happen. It's contagious. It's
Bear
like,
that in mind.
Bear that in mind. Kills more
The
people than
Lord
COVID.
struck her down. She was turned into a pillar of salt.
That's wild.
You could start a company, Staging Wakes, dude.
Stage
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem lover that won't stop showing up at your town's bar? Stage Awake.
Stage awake.
It's got the good like rent a costumes. You know how you'll see
Yeah.
some people like uniforms that you can get for like one-off gigs. You can get that.
Sad Day Productions, LLC.
It could be. I think it'd be more of a good like an Ocean's 11. Like I needed to assemble a crew. It's like boom, 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 boom. The Mourning Widow, Stephanie Robertson. She was ready to cry on a moment's notice. Boom, boom,
I say next time she walks into the bar with another dude, walk directly up to the guy.
Suck his dick.
Suck his cock right there in the bar.
Grab his penis.
And then slap him with a leather glove.
You challenge him
That's
to
what I was going to say.
a duel?
Walk right up to him with a leather glove and just smack him right in the face. And don't break eye contact.
Also, here's something
That's
like
funny.
I don't know what this will do. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying this to say that there will be an outcome to doing this. It's just sometimes things are so crazy you got to just do something.
Yeah.
Okay, so just be like I'm trans, and I don't listen. I'm not saying like, but then that's such a wrench that where do we go from there? Where does the bar go from there? Where does her life? Where does her perception of you go from there? Just one day walk up to her. Don't even be in like just announce it. Just be like I'm a different person now.
You
She's
still have a
confused.
full beard and you're shit faced in a dress at your local bar.
I was gonna say, is he in a different
He's
clothing?
going to be in a dress for
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
but the problem is that when you're doing first of all, this works out really well in about 2005, 2004. This would be a big hit, but now you're going to hit a lot of
Yeah.
you're stepping on a lot of tripwires doing this one. That's why you got to keep this out in McHenry County. And you say you're going to be in a dress, and you're going to say I'm trans. Like you don't kind of believe in it. You're like I don't know. A guy on the fourth mic on T and Stone said that this would do something, and we're going to see. I feel like that would cause enough of like, oh, that's like a different. That's like he's not.
He's
doing
in a different part of his life.
He's so not even
Yeah.
on the same.
There's no
level.
more
That's
fucking
staging
with
awake,
him.
but for who you were.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
It's basically announcing that you died.
Yeah.
Old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. She's dead.
What if you just hit the touch tunes with a full volume Creed, like a 9-hour Creed playlist every
That's
time she
solid.
walks in?
That's solid. I thought you were going to say do something crazy, just fucking tear your shirt off, get totally
Yes.
butt naked
That
in the
as well.
bar, and just be like, ah! Just fucking start throwing shit around.
Genuinely
Piss
that.
on him.
Yeah. Basically, act trans without saying you're trans.
Oh
With
god.
arms wide open.
Under the midnight sun.
Hearing your voice saying my name, it makes me weak.
Or
You just
yeah,
make eye contact.
you want a
with
shot?
her.
You guys want shots? With arms wide open.
She's
Look at this photograph.
she's like outside, like making out with him in like an alleyway, and then you just like in pure darkness, you just emerge from the corner. Can you take me higher? Just hug the both of them.
I think.
Yeah, be overly supportive of the relationship. You guys want to golf tomorrow? Welcome to.
I say walk up to the guy. I'm like, dude, is she still doing that freaky thing where you're fucking from behind? She grabs your nuts.
Actually, you can torpedo. That's an actual genuine move I never thought about before.
Yeah.
You could probably seriously cave that one for the serious replies of
What'd
trying
you
to
call
ruin
it, a
someone's life.
torpedo?
Yeah. A kamikaze. You take them both out at the same time.
Yeah.
Dude, have you ever sucked on her finger while she's fucking? She goes, yeah. And you go,
Yeah.
She would put that so far up my ass. Dude.
I mean, steam
I
would
can
come
still
out of my
feel her
ears.
knuckle up. Doc says I have a knuckle-shaped hemorrhoid. Whoa. Yeah, I'd say you start
Or
with the
some-
small of all the advice that we've given. Start with like the loud Creed. Work your way up through wake to trans
Yeah.
until it stops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or now this is what if you could say if she didn't do anal before, be like she does anal, right? Because you've never had it. And then now it's like, oh, well, you've had anal with this person.
Right.
And then what you do is that you caw, and you float backward. You make that sound after you say it, you go, and you sis, and you go back on the touch tunes and you put on Best of Creed and you just rock that out.
Maybe hit her with while she's at the bar with the guy, hit her with a text that says, can't wait to do that thing you do. And you go, oops, sorry, wrong number.
Yes. Now the problem is these are too ingenious.
Yeah,
These
we've gotten
ones
a
are-
little cerebral.
Yes. But point is, any of these are just on the floor. It's like
Yeah.
he clicked the one advice button, and it's like he hit the lottery. It's like the machine broke, and there's
It's
just money
spewing.
pouring out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's wake. It's maybe there's another thing you could do. He's about to walk into the bar. You hire a New Orleans jazz band, and he gets swept up in the band. Like right where he's about to walk in, it's like. and he's and then they carry him basically down the street.
Carry the guy that she's with, or carries him out and away?
Carry both of them. Carry like maybe
the couple out?
Yeah, the couple of them, or one or the other gets
The
carried
old
away.
stage New Orleans wake.
The old stage New Orleans wake.
Stage New Orleans.
And that's an offshoot LLC of Sad Tuesdays.
Oh my god.
Sad Tuesdays Productions.
I'm going to go home. I am probably going to go home and then just, like, my girlfriend's going to be in bed. I'm going to stay up till 2 a.m. Googling, like, how to start an LLC. You guys, next time you guys are going to see me, I'm going to be a proud owner of Sad Tuesdays.
Eric, what's with the hearse?
I'm driving it. It's a hearse, but it's, like, vinyl wrapped with the name of the company. It's like a U-Haul. It's got a Velociraptor on the side. It says, "Fun fact: did you know Utah is the home of the fossil kingdom?" Anyway, call us for Sad Tuesdays.
Or it has to say something like food truck. So when the girl shows up, she doesn't know it's a stage wake. But really, when the wind blows, it blows over and it's Stage Wakes LLC. And you guys have secretly been there the whole time preparing.
Yeah, after she walks into the bar, the camera stays outside, the wind blows, and the sign falls over, and it says Stage Wakes.
They got the ComEd trucks are flying out. We're getting some high wind.
We're in a tornado
rain.
warning, guys. So this is actually how much we care about the subscribers. That's how much I care.
This is going to be part of, because we are advertised as lo-fi podcasting.
Yes.
This is podcasting to chill / study / relax to.
Hearing the rain outside you.
Yeah, I hope this picks up on the microphone.
It is a storm is brewing out there.
I mean, the electric trucks are coming out. They're ready to fix the power because they know it's coming down. We're getting some high winds tonight.
I hope it goes down. We'll have a very spooky
podcast. Fortunately, Turnip and Stone ain't on the grid.
We're running on battery power here, folks. We also got 5 months of water and food.
This is what happens.
We got a crank-powered
when you got a
field recorder Steve can power with a water wheel.
When you got a producer with zombie nightmares, you get a lot of on-the-go podcasting equipment.
Tune in to 550 AM for the conclusion of the episode.
I know how to start a sponsorship deal just like this, just rubbing them together.
All right, well, we hope we helped him. I would say big advice is stop being such a fucking big dick stud around town.
Yeah, I would kill for this problem.
How do you know this guy?
From being a big dick stud. No, I actually met him while working at a grocery store.
You used to work at a grocery store?
In high school, yeah. I worked at the good old Jewel Osco.
The Jewel Osco?
Yeah.
Do you still have any sort of rewards? Is your phone number still on there?
They give us 5%.
They give you 5%?
They give us a 5% discount.
That is, I feel like
garbage.
they can swing better than that.
I would
thought
get-
it was the People's Grocer.
No, I would get a $5 gift card if I clean the bathrooms every Sunday. So
Kind of felt like that was a bit. This is the soft generation we got. Kind of felt like back in my day that used to just be your job. But
I stepped in human shit cleaning the bathrooms at a recreational club.
really,
Yeah.
it just
You worked
smelled
at a-
like human shit.
Yeah, that
She
could've
kept
been it.
saying, she was like, clean. I go, it's your pipes, lady. Like the smell is coming from up under.
I thought you meant her
It's-
pussy and asshole.
Well, dude,
What did you say about my pipe?
She was a big manager, like a big woman too, where one time she was walking and her side ass hit the like newsstand.
It hit a shelf
like
and it knocked over all
it
the-
did. It knocked over the newspapers and she goes, "Can you pick that up?" And I go, "God damn." I'm like, "Yeah, I can pick that up."
You picked that up, honey? Sugar, I ain't been down since 1999.
She was exhausted all the time.
And you
I've
just had
been
to
in the
be like-
same pair of Skechers pumps since the 2005 Super Bowl.
You should have just been like, "Oh, breaking news! 30 minutes of daily activity can actually knock down 40 pounds." That would be
Holy
great.
shit, what is this? A cutout coupon for a lean cuisine?
Right.
Did you know they make Stovers in single service?
Look at all the places these family circus kids go, and they're kids. Imagine how much you can go as a woman with all this time. We found out that we liked the same comic growing up in the News and Observer.
Which one was that?
Pearls Before
Pearls
Swine.
Before Swine.
I still regret this to this very day. He spoke at UNC, the guy that made Pearls Before Swine.
Yeah.
He started phoning it in at the end. Most Pearls Before Swine comics would end with him drawing himself being like, "I didn't want to finish this." He was clearly a depressive man. You remember he was
Tortured artist.
He was a tortured artist. He would do a Rat and Pig, and they were named Rat and Pig, and then they would always end with like Rat and Pig being on the desk, being like, "Why didn't you finish the cartoon?" And then he'd be like, "Sorry." And then I went and saw him speak, and he was very sad on a day much like today.
Did anyone else's dad like just sit in front of the window and watch?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, the lightning.
And now,
Storm's coming in?
Yeah.
I'd be like, let's go check this out.
Yeah.
He goes and watch the light.
Crack the door.
Yeah, he would like. We had this like kind of like this big window at one point, and he would just park right in front of it, just sit, grab a chair, and just watch it.
There's nothing better than a storm rolling in.
Yeah.
What do you guys have to say?
Are you
Yes.
fucking kidding me?
Huh?
Yeah, my dad was.
I would. I mean, I want to do that now. I have that.
Well,
the primal
all of your
urge.
eyes keep kind of like.
Yeah.
Well, no, the problem is
like-
that we've all hit an age where now we're trying to be that.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, you get some daughterly advice while all of us pull up a chair. At the
I know. Oh my god.
Stephanie, go down in the basement. All right, this is getting rough outside.
Grab me the wine bottle opener from the basement.
That actually leads me into this next question I got from someone.